Hi, everyone. We're giving you a live view of Swing Machine Plus. And it's a holiday week, and the markets are pretty slow. And, and folks are maybe in front of their screens a little bit more than they might otherwise be. So that's why we're doing it. We don't ordinarily broadcast on YouTube, right? But I'm Bag of Don, Stock Market Caddy. We've been doing this a long time. For 20 years, I taught surgeons how to do surgery. The last 20 years, my wife Susan and I have been full-time traders. We don't make specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. We're not looking to manage anyone's money. We are mechanical, robotic traders, hedges. We trade futures intraday. As we go out overnight, we reduce our leverage and or define our risk using options, and we do trade stock. Swing Machine Plus is just one of about 70 and growing proprietary indicators, very unique, all run on the TradeStation platform. That particular number that you're looking at there, we have been running a program. Swing Machine can be automated. It isn't running that tonight, but we keep it ever present. We are running a trading robot on point and figure on an NQ chart. It's been running since midnight, has a profit factor right now since midnight over 5, and it has booked 2034.20, and it's up real time 1855. That's one mini contract. One micro contract, would be one of those, or 1/10 of that. If you were trading Swing Machine, I'll just bring this to your attention. The 5-minute ES went long at 7:05 this morning. In fact, we'll start here with the VIX. The VIX goes short at 7:15, signaling to our traders the market is likely to run. The market had already started to run on the 5-minute ES at 7:05. $2,400. One mini. 10 minis, 24 grand. 10:45 NQ, 2780. 7 a.m. 1790. 1:15, 615. Gold 4 o'clock 80. Oil 12:10, 12:40, and we can't see the 5-minute nat gas here. Sorry, I have that not fit to the screen. Where Swing Machine is not 6 months old, 6 years old. It's old. We've been using Swing Machine now for more than a decade. We have not changed it very much at all. It does not use moving averages. It does not use MACDs. It doesn't use any of the traditional stuff. It just doesn't. That stuff isn't going to work in this type of configuration, if that stuff works at all. We haven't found it very useful. Moving averages pretty much tell you what you already see. It happens in the past. It's just not much help. But so please know that none of these individual programs are for sale individually. We're asked. So I'll try to answer some of the more common questions. They're not for sale individually. The way we structure our membership is very well thought out. What we're trying to do is give everybody an opportunity to take themselves out. Honestly, the membership is month to month, a monthly membership, month to month, no yearly, discounts or anything. Don't sign up for 10 years. It's month to month. We don't maintain value. You won't stay with us. And very rarely do we lose anybody. So it's month to month. And then the annual membership, one needs to go through what we call a Q school. So you get the instruction, giving yourself an opportunity to say, nope, this isn't for me. Very, very rarely. We've only had one or two. One person probably was best that he didn't go forward. The other person probably shortchanged themselves. They just weren't comfortable with the computer, and he actually did well. So, you don't have to be a programmer, but we do use and push off the computer in a big way. And otherwise, just about everybody, goes through what we call a Q school, and we spend 3+ weeks with you individually, every day. If you have the time, we'll work around your schedule. And we have a person that we're doing that with right now. And we're committed to taking whatever time. We say 3+ weeks because we're going to work around your schedule and make sure that you understand how we go about trading and what we're doing. It isn't as though we're giving just one approach. There's dozens. And Musa Bamba, hello. Yes. Okay. That's a good question. Musa Bamba, he says, hello. Please, could you help me understand what is the difference between the bot result at the bottom result and the column profit loss I see at the NQ result in the table is different. So Swing Machine is operating. You can trade right from here, and this can be programmed. It's using time. Let me widen this out. It's using a time interval. And let me, what did I just do here? Let me try to get our thing back here. I'm sorry. All right. There we go. All right. So we keep Swing Machine ever present in front of us because it gives us a really nice view of the markets and what everyone's doing. So the question is on the NQ, for instance, on a 5-minute interval, if one of our members had been following Swing Machine and took the trade at 10:45, they would be up that amount of money. So what Musa is asking me is, why is this up 2685 and why is this here and that there? The reason being is that the trading robot that we are describing down here is not trading this. It's actually trading on a point and figure chart, running a program on point and figure. So it's on another screen and it's running and doing its thing, and it's running fully robotic. So that's why the two are different. But this can be programmed, right? But please understand, for the benefit of everybody, I want you to know, and I'm happy to answer your questions, so thank you, Musa. Trading robot. What is a trading robot? What do we mean by a trading robot? A trading tool. These are decision-making tools. These are trading tools. I'm not a pilot, but the autopilot on a plane, when the pilots take it up, they put on an autopilot and it will fly the plane, right? It'll fly them over the Pacific Ocean, over the Atlantic Ocean. Probably could even land it, right? But for the most part, they take it up and take it down. Intuitive Surgical, symbol ISRG, makes a surgical robot. Surgical robot. I've actually had the opportunity, not on a patient, but to sit in that robot and operate that robot. It is a surgically assisted robot. The operative word there is surgical assisted robot. You still must be a surgeon to use that robot. You still need to be a pilot to operate that robot or that autopilot. So if anybody is passing by or passing through and either is drawing the connotation or thinks that I'm promoting this as a robot, that you do not need to have acquired trading skill and you simply just going to plug it in and it's just going to print you money. No, that isn't the case. No, you need to have good acquired discretionary trading skill. And if you don't have that, we will work with you to develop that skill. And that has to be developed. You have to, just like a pilot, he's got to be able to fly that plane. There are times when you're going to have to turn that autopilot off and you're going to have to operate that plane. There are times when you're going to have to turn that robot off and or interface with that robot, trading robot. So you need to have that skill. So there's no jumping the shark. We have a gentleman that just started his Q school and just started. He officially start next week, and we're just kind of getting to know each other. And I explained that during the 3-week Q school, what we're trying to do is we're trying to ascertain the person's discretionary trading skill and enhance that discretionary skill. Then we're trying to move that person's discretionary trading toward mechanical trading. Then we're trying to move them even further out toward robotic trading, where the robot is actually trading. And then ultimately even further out to robotic hedging, where you'll actually spend the rest of one's life. That's where our members will be the rest of their life. They're looking at the markets in a way that, most people are not. And you can interface though. So just as you can have an autopilot on and turn it on or turn it off and fly the plane as necessary, you can do that in a trading environment. What our members will do where they get into a state of, nirvana, is that they will turn, unlike most retail traders that I've seen, and I've had the pleasure, some invite me to watch, and I sometimes wonder, it's like, what in the world's going on? Because they'll sit down in their office and they'll have a whole bunch of screens. They'll have a TV, they'll have all kinds of stuff. And they're watching this, and they're watching that, and they're watching this, and they're watching that. And they're looking at this and hearing that. And then okay, all right, yeah, I see that. Oh, yeah, I got the average there. Yeah. Boom, put a trade on. Oh, I'm going to come on, and it's just all over the map. I'm like, what in the world are we doing here? Our traders, what they're going to be doing is they're going to come into their office, going to have maybe a couple of screens, no TV, nope, maybe a good book to read, maybe a nice set of headphones to listen to some music. And then they're going to have a handful of markets, 5 to 7, no more than 7, ideally 5. Not that they're going to be trading all 5. And then they're going to have Swing Machine monitoring all those markets for them on a configuration that they like. We like this 135. Now, we just spent time with our newest person, how to work this. We don't have time tonight to explain that. But then they will arm those markets, some of those markets, with a trading robot. And they will choose, because as an annual member, they have all these tools on their desktop. And they will choose from the dozens of robots that we have. And they have a description of what these robots are, how they function, and do they function well in choppy markets? Are they trending markets? What do they do? So they have a pretty good idea. And then they will operate them from there. And the machine might put the trade in and take the trade out, manage the risk, manage the profit, manage the loss completely. This particular robot has been doing that since midnight. Or they may choose to go up there and the robot has $1,705 in the window. They might choose to go up there and take that money. And they can do that. And they need to maybe reset the robot. So there is there's an interface going on, a relationship there. So it's a lot different. There is if you're trading as a professional, and we're calling professional that we are full-time traders for ourselves, right? So please do not. I'm not a prop trader. I'm not trading for anyone else. Our members are not trading for anyone else, to my knowledge. They are doing their own thing. The markets are deep. The strategies are varied, so we're not on top of each other, and at all. There are many myriad of configurations that one could use. But there's no one trade that is going to make you rich. And if you are putting yourself in that type of position, then in our view, you're not really a trader. You're, whatever, a gambler. I mean, maybe that YOLO comes in, maybe it works, and maybe it don't, as the crypto folks are finding out. Before crypto, it was GameStop and AMC, and before that, it was Global Crossing and America Online, and you know, countrywide, and Bank of America. You almost went broke. Bear Stearns, Lehman, the place is littered with it. That is not trading to us. That is gambling. In our view, YOLO, pouring all your money into one thing and, hoping that, that one thing is going to go up and up and up and up. So no one trade will make us rich. No one trade will make us poor. So once you know that, then it's just a question of repeating it. In golf, you have to have a repetitive golf swing. In trading, you got to have something that you can repeat. Now, it will not be the same. The market will not be the same tomorrow as it was today. It won't be. It never is. So if anybody has an expectation that there exists some sort of holy grail out there that is going to trade every market exactly the same way and with exactly the same result, they're looking for something that doesn't exist, and they're probably going to be disappointed. The truth of the matter is, if I turned this robot off, which I could do, she would have booked, $3,800, $3,900. Tomorrow, she might make $6,000. She might make $1,000. She might do whatever she does, but I do have the trading skill to intervene with that robot and maybe change gears. But we will let them continue to run. It's very important to understand that. We compare the market activity to golf. I play the same golf course a lot. That the chance and the likelihood that that golf ball is going to land in exactly the same place on exactly the same hole every single time for any round with the exact same conditions is slim and none. Not going to happen. Does not happen. Yet, people are teaching, people are expecting that, they got their rules written down on a piece of paper and they're looking to do this, this, and this. And tomorrow they're going to do this, this, and this again. And they want it to match exactly. And they get frustrated and disappointed because it doesn't. And the reality of it is, they really don't want to be doing that anyways, because you know what happens? You develop muscle memory. And you don't want muscle memory in trading. I come at this that I am the most ignorant person in the market. I'm not dumb, but I said I'm the most ignorant. I don't know what the market's going to do tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to go up or go down. I want to be able to move left. I want to be able to move right. So I don't want to have a preconceived bias. So I don't go on the Twitter sphere to give an opinion so that I can be right. I'll leave that to other Twitter sphereians or whatever, or all the folks that want to argue about, crypto. It's pointless to me. I just want to create cash flow. I'm always trading, and our members are trading for themselves, creating cash flow. They're trading as a business. Very mature approach. They're also tracking something called profit factor. And if you don't know what a profit factor is, and if you're not tracking profit factor, then I'm going to say something that's pretty, could be, I hope not, could be received poorly, in that I would say that you don't really know. Let me put it, I don't want to say you don't know what you're doing, but you're putting yourself at a distinct disadvantage, because if you don't know what your profit factor is, you don't have the information to know what to work on. In golf, they have a handicap, certainly, but they also know how many greens they hit, how many fairways they hit, how many putts, how many sand saves. Why do they keep track of all that information? So that in between rounds, they know what to work on, what to practice. So if you traded last week and you made whatever you made and you don't know what your profit factor is, you don't have the information you need to know what is working, what isn't working. That isn't good. Not good at all. It's possible to make $10,000 in a week and the next week make 1,000. And it's possible that the $1,000 in a week is actually a better trading week than the 10,000. And if you're subscribing to anybody or listening to anybody and they've never told you about profit factor, then I would run for the hills. And I've asked some people that have thousands, tens of thousands of followers, because they're on CNBC, God forbid, the country news bubble channel, and they blocked me because you see, it cuts through the bullshit. By the way, the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, has conducted trading challenges. Now, some people say that's silly and it's beneath them. Well, we entered that challenge in front of our members. The 2 challenges ago, and you have to and it's all week. Starts on a Sunday night, it goes until Friday at 1. 2 challenges ago, I think it was 2, there were 1,400 traders registered. You had to trade on the CME site from Sunday to Friday. The top 3 would get recognition and a small prize, which is, so you don't have to do that every day, but so we wanted to be in the top 3. On Friday, and I told our members that I wouldn't stay up overnight for a game, but if I was in the top 10 going into the last day, I would stay up overnight to try to win it. On Thursday close, on the first one, we were number 10 out of 1,400. And unfortunately, the other guys were very, very good. I think it was a team of people I was up against, but we ended up finishing 20, which I didn't think was all bad. Disappointed, but we got 20. And we have a recognition slip from CME that we, in fact, did that. The last time, there were 1,600. And on Friday, or on Thursday close, we were number 7. I stayed up overnight again. And at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m., I was number 2. And unfortunately, I was absolutely punch drunk. I don't drink, I don't smoke weed, but I was punch drunk. I was exhausted and made a couple of decisions that I had to make because I had to get some sleep. And it was just me. My wife Susan said I should have woken her up, and I didn't. But we finished officially number 7. And my hat's off to the people that finished earlier, on the top, because they were very, very good. We used Swing Machine, and I used a trading robot on custom Rinkos. I didn't use point and figure. I used custom Rinkos. And we did it in full view of our members. If you're following somebody, ask them to do it. I'm hoping the CME does another one, and I'll do it again. And we're determined to win the thing, but we'll do it in front. Everybody wants to tell you what the market did today or yesterday. We're trading right here, right now. And we have tools. We do trade options. We do trade stock. We will invest, not investing right now, too many things. We got a few things, but, and we will, if we're going out further, we will trade options. And we have some fantastic tools for options. And you can use Swing Machine on stock and on ETFs and then make the translation to options. Options produce a whole nother dimension between futures. You need to get the direction right. You need to get the pricing right, the implied volatility. You need to get the, did I say the duration? The direction, implied volatility, the duration, and then you must structure it properly. Do you buy the option or do you sell the option? And that depends. We're building as we speak for for our members. And if you see the videos, you'll see some of the videos. The swing machine will be turned blue, and the additional tools and radars that we're building for options will be blue. So it's a distinctly different game. And these tools will give our members the direction. They will give them the expected range, and they will even make a suggestion of what type of option structure would be best. But similar to futures or trading anything else, a person does need instruction on, how to go about trading options. Options, we don't trade options intraday because we don't find them liquid enough. You could sometimes put an option on and maybe be out the same day, but it's not something we're trying to do. And lost my train of thought, but it's just that options. We make a comparison. As kids, we learned how to play checkers. Fun game, simple. Check, check, check. Right. I know how to play checkers. I'm a professional checkers player. Chess, different game. And and a game that can be played for your life, right, or lifetime. It isn't that it's real complicated. Well, it's advanced. It's advanced. One of the first things that you need to understand with chess is how the pieces move. Which way does the rook go? The knight, the queen, the king, the pawns, the value of each, understanding the board, understanding the math. A lot of math to chess. If you sit down at a chess table and start moving the pieces around like you're playing checkers, probably not going to do very well. Probably not at all. You cannot sit down. You can sit down and start buying and selling options. But, if you're basically playing checkers with chess, you're probably not going to do very well. That's unfortunate because you can do really well with options, but need to learn the game of options itself. And then the bigger game, which there is a game to this. We do not subscribe to a narrative at all. No. These tools, by the way, my wife and I started to build these tools in the early 2000s. Stock Market Caddy came out of the ground really just almost as an afterthought because I was just bored, quite frankly, in 2010, 2011. And we do not advertise. We don't. Nope, don't need to. We will not take more than 2 people into Q School at the same time. And we're penciling in folks for next year already. So that's a little bit more than what you probably asked for, Musa. Bamba. It's pretty wild. The world has gotten smaller. We couldn't do what we're doing without TradeStation, and we couldn't have done what we're doing now before 2000. The technology wasn't there. The technology is finally here, and it's phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. And the folks that go through the Q School, I cannot promise anybody, I wish I could, an outcome. Can't do it. But I can promise you this, that we will work as hard as you during those few weeks. I will. I say that to everybody, and they can hear me. My members can hear me. I will. I can promise you that. I can promise you that we'll save you time. I can promise you that you will learn a ton. And I don't care how long you've been trading. We have had folks that have been trading, their whole lives. And you're very welcome, Musa. You're very welcome. And I've learned a ton. But you will know at the end of the Q School, you will know, what you're capable of. We will set that up so that you'll know. You'll answer that question. I use NinjaTrader. If I am, I would need to move to another platform. Well, I'll say this, NinjaTrader is very good. I do not use Ninja, but I have seen it, and I think it is a very good platform. So I won't say anything negative about Ninja at all. Um, we have members that were using Ninja and are still using Ninja. But our annual members, and they still might have Ninja too, but in order to take advantage of these tools, they need to migrate to TradeStation. But you don't have to be a TradeStation user to belong as a monthly member, belonging to that level of membership. And you don't have to be a TradeStation user during the Q school. In fact, it's a really good opportunity to see what TradeStation's all about. The way that I put it is there's no way we could not do what we're doing from a trading standpoint without TradeStation. The tool is unbelievable. And I spent 20 years of my life teaching surgeons how to do surgery. So I have brought very sophisticated instrumentation into surgery. Their tool, there are things, I've been with TradeStation now a long time. There are things that they just keep adding and putting in that I may not have even opened yet. It's incredible. This tool that is sitting, this Swing Machine Plus is sitting on their tool called Radar Screen. Now we have programmed it to look this way, to function this way. So this is our proprietary technology software sitting on their proprietary tool. Ninja does not have that. And there's a lot of other things, but I would just go, changing platforms and making any changes is a big decision. And we didn't start there. I wish I had. And so, we had to go through some trial and error back, years ago. But I'm pretty demanding on products, and they're just excellent. And the support, I find the support very, very good. And their tutorials, are also very, very good. But we do know the platform, and it's, knock on wood, it's just so stable and so good. There's a lot of things that we can do. But we do have members that still have Ninja and can do both, right? So that's it's a beautiful thing. So I didn't mean to ramble on, but I wanted to stop in and give you a view. And it was a really good question. And so you have a choice. So this I can kind of highlight this here. So you can see it. So this is the ES contract right here. And that's that trade this morning. Maybe I should put that in yellow, huh? Maybe let me undo that. Maybe make it thinner so we can see it a little better. Let me try this. But this is that trade. And so we definitely had members. Now, we teach our members to quit early, And so we had members that were on this trade and they're trading. So very rarely are they trading like past 3 o'clock. I mean, and they may only trade for an hour or two a day. And it's a bit of a game. Not only are they out to get the best profit factor they can get for the day, but they're also out to spend as little time in the market as possible. Musa, do you know what a profit factor is? Do you know? It's okay if you don't. So these are all winning trades right now. These are all, Swing Machine is on this. It's a beautiful, this is also a fantastic tool for hedging. And here, these are all just 5-minute. I want to make it a little too busy, but 2,500, 2,900, 1,800, 660. Pretty good. If anybody wants to know what a profit factor is, I'm happy to describe, but I won't be here all night to bend your ear. If you have any other questions, feel free to use the chat function. Feel free to visit Stock Market Caddy. You're also welcome to call us from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. any day, can be weekends. I'll take your call, and but we'll leave this view up and we'll let it continue to do its thing. Thank you, Musa. Thanks for the question. Yes, I monitor it when trying to create strategy on Ninja script, right? Yep, I understand they do call it a script. Boy, if you don't mind, I'm going to release these little squares. They look a little busy, don't they? So I'll undo that. You know, when it comes to strategies, and what we try to teach and introduce is um, we don't do the programming. We're not teaching programming, but the issue I have with some of these other platforms is kind of like a plug and play. It's almost toy-like. Um, but one needs to know how these tools work, some of the traditional tools, some of the non-traditional tools. They need to understand how the markets move, how prices move, what what is important, what isn't important, and then how to backtest and what the meaning of a backtest is, how to forward test, and then how to relate that information going forward. I hear from a lot of people how much time they're spending writing scripts and doing back testing, and they, I just kind of feel bad because they spend an inordinate amount of time and they just don't understand what they don't understand. And they could be chasing something and spending all this time away from their families and chasing something that and the thing of it is some of them may have something very, very good, but they've got so much other stuff that isn't very good and they can't measure it, and they just don't know yet what they don't know. And it's too bad because in the most valuable commodity of all is not crypto, not Bitcoin, not gold, not silver, not the S&P futures, not an option. Time, time, right? You can't buy it and you can't sell it. A lot of time, right? And we're all about maximizing that time. And I am not one of these folks that says, trade, 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 eat, live, trade. No, I'm here a lot because I want to be here. I love doing this. I absolutely love it. When I worked with surgeons and they they would see patients and stuff, but they love to be in surgery. They love it, right? They love it. I liked it. I didn't touch patients and everything. I liked it. It was challenging, but they love it. Like, these surgeons, some of them, if they could be in surgery every single day, that's what they want to be doing. The rest of it is kind of probably a grind to them. They love doing surgery. Um, so, but I don't, and I love playing golf. I got other interests and I love fly fishing and I have other things that I do, but, I don't subscribe to the school of thought that, there are these other folks on the Twitter sphere, you got to eat, live. The other part of the Q school that I was just explaining to the newest gentleman that is in Q school is that it's also part of see, I get to know him, right? I get to know him a little bit. We maintain privacies though, but say, hey, I don't want to spend this number of days. I don't want to spend this much time. I want to, and it's kind of like find out like, okay, that's cool. Well, what works best, but you want to have your family first, then your other career or other priorities. Trading should be further down. It can be a career, it can be very rewarding, but it should be providing you some enjoyment, some fun, some independence. Should be, and shouldn't be a grind. And some people, I sometimes hear are in a bad place, and you have to really kind of like I just strongly suggest if anybody's there, just stop. Don't have to necessarily come to us, but just stop, take a hard thought, look in the mirror, cold water on the face, and decide, hey, is this something that I really want to do? By the way, the first time I went into surgery, I damn near passed out, and I had already um, I had left another job early when I was very young and taken this job, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I walked out, almost passed out. I went in the restroom and I got my scrubs on and I had to splash water on my face. And I looked at myself and said, "Hey, Don, what are you going to do now? Am I gonna man up? Am I gonna, you know, come back in, walk out of that? Am I gonna go from the men's room to the surgeon's lounge, change out of my scrubs and quit and go home and tell my wife I couldn't do it?" I was in an orthopedic case. It was pretty rough. First one. I didn't feel good. I looked pale. I felt sick. I'm like, man, I got to do this every day. It was awful, initially. But I fortunately I chose to walk out and go back into the surgeon's suite, into the operating room, and they were all laughing. They were all taking bets as to whether or not I was coming back, and they're all laughing, from the surgeon to the nurses to the person I was working with. The person I was working with fortunately took the bet. The surgeon didn't think I was coming back. The nurse didn't think I was coming back. And I came back and they were all laughing and they gave me tips on not to feel faint. And I go from that to spending almost 20 years or more in surgery virtually every single day. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. And teaching others and just, so um, if you're subscribing someplace, we will sometimes get phone calls from people and I'll ask and they'll say, well, yeah, I subscribe to this service. Say, like, we're not a service. Our people get opportunities on our videos every night and all of that. But more valuable than that is we'll get phone calls and people say, well, I subscribe to this service and every night I get like 10 option trades and I can choose like, 3 or 4. I'm like, okay, how's that worked out? How long have you been doing it that way? Oh, like 5 years. Okay. How's it worked out? Not so good. Have you made any money? Not really. But I haven't lost anything. But I haven't made any money. Have you learned anything? No, I haven't learned a thing. Why? 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 Why would you do that? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why would you do that? Why would you spend all that time and all that money and not learn? Ben Franklin, an investment in knowledge pays the greatest interest for a dividend. Knowledge is not wasted. You got to learn. We've been doing this a long time, folks. And we do not, we don't accept everybody. I should say that, right? We don't. Nope. Not for the annual. Monthly, we have folks who will come in and usually I get to know them. Sometimes I don't. If they join as a monthly, they get a welcome tutorial and, we have an unlimited number of monthly members. But if somebody's going to join as an annual, they're going to have to go through the Q school and that person and I are going to have a little conversation because I want to make sure that they have a mature perspective. They may not have any trading experience at all, but there are other things that I'm tuning in for because I do not want to see them waste their money. I do not want to see them waste their time, and I don't want to waste mine. I don't. I want to have an impact for people, a positive impact. And we do something every year. Once a person signs up and as an annual, the cost never goes up. We only add value, add. And we do some things to actually reduce the cost from one year to the next. So I try to treat people the way I always wanted to be treated, but I never did to get that, right? We never had anything. Nobody was ever taking us behind the curtain, what was really, really going on, So, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And it could be anything around trading. I love teaching like this because, and taking on folks, because you see things when you're teaching someone, You all come from different backgrounds. We have all kinds of backgrounds. Salespeople, C-suite people, firemen, policemen, software engineers. We've got a lot of software engineers right now, which is great. Engineers themselves, all kinds of backgrounds. And they ask questions that questions that I may not have never thought of to think of before, or things that I haven't thought of for a while. So it can be very humbling, and I learn and try to understand what those questions, and it makes us better. Makes us better. We have had. I don't talk about it much. I don't send out videos on it. I maintain their privacy, but we have had folks come. We had one gentleman with literally no trading experience, and he blew us all away. I'll just say that. He absolutely, and he was in his 30s, is in his 30s, and he just came in. He had such a mature perspective. He took what we shared with him early on, and he just did fabulous. And he is independently wealthy. Absolutely crazy. Blew me away. Probably he is both our biggest success story and maybe one of my little failures, because I didn't quite listen enough. He invested in Ethereum using point and figure when Ethereum was $20 a coin. I'll just leave it at that. And he knew, and he said to me when I talked to him last, he said, Don, he said, do you remember how nervous I was when I was trading and learning? And if I lost $200 or $300? And I said, yeah, I do. He goes, Don, he said, I have been trading in this Ethereum, and I'm not worried about what's happened with Ethereum, because he understood how to trade. He said, I have had, Don, like in the past, this was like last year, a year where I've had several trades that are over like six figures, and I don't even blink an eye. Don't even blink an eye. So it's transferable. We have been asked, we will, if a person goes through the Q school and they choose to take the information and go, we hope they'll stay, but they may not, and that's fine. We have had folks ask us, is it transferable? It is. Meaning, can you take the information and become a better trader? Yeah. In fact, I think that when you finish the Q school with us, I think you'll be in the top 1 or 2% of all traders. I really do. Certainly better than the crap that's on CNBC. It's awful. It's embarrassingly bad. It's embarrassing. Really. CNBC is no more than a cable station for like home shopping network. Up there in New Jersey. It's a joke. But we hope that, person will go on. And what we do is, if they do go on to be an annual, we will credit you back $1,000 toward the Q school for continuing on. That's the way it goes. So it's incremental. And if you think about it, and you look at a subscription model, you'll see that what we're trying to do is we're trying to give you a chance before going, signing up and a big time commitment and a big expense. Like, is this right? Is this going to work for me? So we're trying to give you that opportunity. We think in the end, if we do that, a person's going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to decide what's best for them. So we don't, if you get on a mailing list, we'll keep mailing out various videos of the day and posting on YouTube. I have been asked, why do we do that? First thing is, if anybody finds them annoying, just unsubscribe and we don't send you anything. But we're not doing it to pester anybody. We're not doing it to pressure anyone. Certainly not, because I don't make any phone calls. We're doing it to inspire. So I had one person, why do you keep doing that? We had one gentleman, stop it, I can't stand it. Okay, no problem. We're doing it to inspire. It's different. Some people don't want to be inspired. They want to be Oh, I don't know. They don't want to be. They would just want to be angry. Can't do that. You can't do that. Nobody can do that. Okay, don't even try. I don't get that idea. I don't get that, and I don't understand that mentality. I just don't. And I surround myself, and I always have before Stock Market Caddy. I surround myself with people that will rise to the occasion. I always have, and I would suggest everybody else do the same thing, no matter what you do and wherever you go in life. Um, but so it's pretty quiet. And if there's any other trading questions, I'm gonna take a break and we'll let you watch. Now Zoom may go off. We're at 23. See, when we do this Zoom, our members can patch in. They have everything on their desktop, but they can patch in and ask us questions. Not specific, like, would you buy this, sell that? We're not doing that. But they might have a question, or they just might want to see what we're running and talk about strategies and and so there's some strategies that will run really well and chop, other strategies that love to, a day like today where the market is, sticky and gets, a nice big fat trends, um, and so they might, want to sound that out. But so we have a Zoom link, but after 24 hours, it will time out and then we got to reboot it. So I'm pushing close to that. And so if Zoom goes out abruptly, so won't the YouTube link. The markets are open, but they're thin. They're thin at this hour in the States, right? It's 7:30 at night. The full-time traders are here and are not here. This is a thin week. This is an easy week for the markets to push higher. But be careful. So if you're outside the States, tomorrow is a full day of trading, I believe. Then Thursday is our Thanksgiving holiday, and then Friday will be a partial day. Last year, Friday, known as Black Friday for shopping reasons, but it was a very dark day in the markets. The futures will be open, and I still think that these markets, have some issues, over. You're looking at the S&P, and I can show you this. The S&P on a daily, this is the S&P cash. It's pushing up on the greed meter up in here. It's not in euphoria. And then the VIX, let's take a look at this VIX. Oops, I just did that again. I didn't mean to do that. And the VIX is, it's getting down into here. So if this market gets into euphoria and the VIX gets into panic, then that will be an indication for us to begin bracing for a market sell-off. Let me just, there we go, get that. That's one of the tools, but not possible to impart everything, in an evening or on one video. We compare it to golf. Anybody can go down to Top Golf, a driving range, rent a basket of golf balls, and click a few big balls, 300, 350 yards, and hoot and holler with everybody and all the fans, and, and have a good time. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's fine, but that's not golf, right? And just don't play in front of me on Sunday, right? Sunday morning or something. I'd rather not play behind that. But the person who is certainly maybe taking some golf instruction, is getting up early, is loosening up, getting fit, going to the driving range when nobody is there, or at night, hitting golf balls, working on this, working on that. He's going to be the person who has game, and it's it's a fun game. It's not an easy game, and by no means. But you can play very well. You don't have to be Tiger Woods, right? We don't have to be Ken Griffin at Citadel. We can do very well. There are 24 trading days in a month, 24 if you count Sunday nights. If let's just say that you take one day off a week, you're down to 20. $100 a day. I hate to break it down to that. $100 a day is 2,000 a month. 200, it's 4,000. 500, it's $10,000 a month. You know, but but if you have an expectation that you're going to watch one video, listen to one person talk about the golf swing, go out, get a set of golf clubs, spend a lot of money on the golf clubs and just go to the golf course and you think you're going to birdie every single hole, it's not going to happen. Isn't going to happen. Doesn't work that way. Not much does. But you can learn this game. And we, one of the tools that I can't bring into focus, if you look at our YouTube station or site, we have built, it's blue in color and the expected range. That comes from the math of how options are priced. So we can get a pretty good idea. In fact, I'm going to just take a look at that for a moment. Before I do, let me share with you. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to try. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to look at the trade manager analysis for this strategy that's been running since midnight. And it has, so these are the internals. So it has a profit factor of 4.34. That means we're making $4.34 for every dollar we lose. The profit factor on the long side is $8. The short side, 2.45. We have had, that's this number down in here, this trading over here. This, we've had a total number of 4 trades, not counting the one that's up there, not counting that one. And it's won 50% of them, 2 of them. That's all. It hasn't traded a lot. It is not what we would call a high frequency trading program. We have high frequency trading programs, but this isn't one of them. We're actually trying to slow the trading down specifically here. The average time in trade is 1 hour and 4 minutes. And just a beautiful, beautiful report thus far. We'll keep running. So our members can come in and they can look during the day, what's running, what's it doing, what are you working on, what are the settings, why are we doing this, why are we doing that, can we do this, can we do that. We will also, for our annual members, we haven't run into anything yet we couldn't do, but sometimes they'll come to us and say, Don, I see this, I see that, can you program this, can you program that? And we will work our best to program that. And we don't charge for that. Now, I won't commit to a deadline, right? So you can't say, hey, get it done in 2 days time. No, not quite. I'll try. If I think it's really, really good and it's something we haven't done, then I will certainly jump to it. We will also back test it. We will forward test it. And then we will create a beta copy. And then we have a group of members that are open to testing beta copies. And we may run that for weeks or months. And then if it passes muster, then it'll go into our library and we'll make it available for everyone. If it doesn't get into our library. So in all these folks, all of these members have been all through the Q school, and some have been with us now for years. So they're really, really good traders, and they understand. They are aware. That's all I can say, is becoming aware. The, whatever it is you have an interest in, if you have an interest in, you must become aware of what it is you don't know. And it's okay not to know something. I will arm wrestle you, everyone, to say that I am the most ignorant person in this market. I need to say that. I want to say that. I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to tell you where the market's going to go in the next 15 minutes or the next, day or 6 months from now. I'll leave that to the Twitter sphere and the YouTube nonsense. They throw up time cycles, they throw up the 200-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, the MACD, the this, the that, the that, the that, the that. Oh my God. It's like hieroglyphics. Like, please, please spare me. you know, um, where so I need to be able to move left and right like a shortstop, on the balls of my feet. I need to go either way. You get vested in an opinion on the market, then you might not react as quickly as you need to. And I need to be able to react onto whatever it is, right? Need to be able to react. And there's certain steps. I do like watching these. I've shared this with other people. I watching these podcasters on that fly planes, even though I'm not a pilot, because I find it really interesting how they conduct their business. And they talk about, how it's amazing. It's kind of scary how some of these small planes, how many of these planes crash and people get killed. And one of the guys was talking about, he said it was so evident because they can go back and look at the flight patterns and the speed and so forth, what was happening. And he said it was obvious to him that the pilot was listening to his inner ear. I call it listening to his inner ear. And had he only focused on his instruments, he would have been okay. He may have lived. We may have been all right. But he listened to his inner ear. And he thought he was climbing when in fact he was crashing. That's spooky, isn't it? This swing machine is like our dashboard. So that's why I have it up here. I don't need a chart. I could trade right from here. I do have charts. I can look out the window. It's like flying a plane. I can look out the window. But so we want to be able to see what we can see so we can react, right? And we have members that purely trade right from swing machine. No chart. Don't need a chart. And I haven't even talked about what's happening over here, right? So over here, this is a fantastic tool, especially for trading options. Hey, Ted. All right, so we're going to let you watch. Have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to have to step out with my pooch, but we'll let you hang in here. We'll probably go until maybe at 7:33, probably to about 8:30, thereabouts. You're welcome to visit the website. You're welcome to send us an email. If you become a monthly member, you'll get a welcoming tutorial. You'll get a video view of all of our algos every night from Sunday to Thursday. And I'll give you a one-day pass to come in and watch Swing Machine in the video. We'll schedule it. You start in the morning, we'll give you a one-day pass and you can watch what our traders are seeing during the day. It'll blow you away. It's fun when the markets, actually today was a great day. Yesterday was a great day. Especially in the oil market yesterday, down hard, back up, beautiful, beautiful trading. And if you want to call during the day, you're welcome to. And we can chat about what you've been doing, what your aspirations are, what you're trying to do. And you can ask me any question and I'll be brutally frank. I have had some people, I don't want to say what's happened, but and it's fine. It was good, but I just found their expectations not real. Not real. I won't say what that is because I don't want to coach anybody here. They are what they are, though, right? They are what they are, and if that's that's okay. That's all right. We we're not for everybody. But we wish everyone the best. I'll be back. Enjoy.